for this podcast, we interviewed a lady called Nazreen Sikh. So if anyone's heard of Nazreen, she was born in Nepal, and she spent the first part of her life working as a child labourer in a sweatshop. She managed to get herself out of that situation, gain an education, and now she runs the Empowerment Collective, where she helps other women escape modern day slavery. So this song is inspired by that. The voice you hear is Nazreen.
15 hours per day in a sweatshop as a child laborer. I ate, slept, and toiled in a sweatshop workstation, and being too afraid to look out of the window.
There's a monster in my closet, all the clothes in my wardrobe, 1,000 different stories of the lives that were bought, sold and made to toil away with no guarantee of pay, in conditions nothing like what the advertisers say. These products are the product of such innocent victims in a system that relies on children locked away stitching, business model that depends on using children at borders. Pay them pennies, keep it quiet, keep fulfilling those orders. This shit should not exist in this century. You'd think a brand name boo-hoo would have more empathy. A €5 dress, stop and think before you buy it. Did that worker see a cent? This whole thing is so misguided. It never went away, we just got better at hiding it. Distracted from the truth, we've got no interest in finding it. A million miles away, but more connected than ever. Far from child's play, there's blood, tears and sweat in your sweater.
I hated those clothes. They were woven with the energy of my suffering.
A cyclic system which depends on the denial of rights. Innocent victims who are sentenced without trial for life. Yeah, we looked the other way, too scared of facing the truth. A little kid in a sweatshop had to lace up your shoes. Trickle down economics, that's nothing but bullshit. Would you feel the same way if it happened to your kid? Inequality. It's hard to contemplate how it's like the Hunger Games, but we live in the capital now. We see no evil, hear no evil. Yeah, you block out the screams. Without slaves, fast fashion falls apart at the seams. Can't say tests were passed when there's no questions asked. Profit first, workers' best interest is last. If you met who made your clothes, what would you say to them though? You couldn't wear the same dress 2 days in a row. Nazreen, I'm sorry, every time I bought an item you made contributed to a system that's sustained by slaves.
Of each day, I would collapse onto the large bundle of clothes and daydream where they would end up, who would wear them. Some of you wearing those clothes right now.
You dress yourself in her clothes, so put yourself in her shoes. It's not like nobody knows, we just ignore the abuse. Another scandal unveiled, but we see nobody jailed. The brand undoubtedly claim that their suppliers to blame. It's like the cycle repeats and we just roll with the tide, unlikely ever to cease as long as revenues rise. They say it's hard to compete and even harder to fix, but that's no reason to treat another human like this. And it's not just overseas, we see atrocious treatment here in Ireland unseen, like an open secret. Car washes, housemaids, fishing trawlers at sea, massage parlours, prostitution, nail bars on the street. The last decade in this country we found hundreds of victims, but failed to see even just one person convicted. The worst in Western Europe, we've done little to make right. A free country, slave labour hidden in plain sight. Thank you.